Mambo vipi? Anita Santuri hapa na karibu. Kwa mara ya kwanza kabisa tunaanza upya kabisa mirindimo ya maisha. This is a new thing that we want to introduce to people. Na tutakuwa tunazungumzia masuala ambayo yanafanyika kwa kila mtu. Sio mimi peke yangu, kwa marafiki zangu, anyone. This is a safe space for a conversation. Na leo siko peke yangu. Niko na rafiki yangu ambaye tumejuana kwa muda mrefu. Na pia zaidi ya hapo ni mtu ambaye tunashare vitu ambavyo vilifanyika katika utotoni, na we had a conversation and she agreed to come and have this with me. Karibu sana Tess.
Thank you very much.
Mambo vipi?
Niko poa, as good as can be.
Valentine's ndio hiyo inakuja. Sasa wewe kama Tess, mipango yako ni ipi?
Mimi kama Mkristo na niko na Bwana Yesu pale. You know, I'm not even praying for much. Nikipata ka private jet hivi niko sawa.
You're not praying for much, but unataka kupata private
jet tu.
Lakini swali tu la kizushi. Unayeomba kwake private jet, je, na uwezo wa kununua hata kijiko?
Bwana Yesu anaweza tu yote.
Kwa kifupi hauna mtu hapo duniani.
I plead the fifth.
Inakubalika. But anyway, as we discussed earlier, nilikuwa nimekuambia kwamba ningependa tuzungumzie kuhusu masuala ya childhood trauma in an African home. Sasa kila mtu ambao wakati tunazungumza mtu anakwambia hakuna kitu kama hiyo kwa Afrika. Trauma wepo kwa wazungu peke yake. Lakini kwa familia ya Kiafrika, kwa setup ya African, hakuna masuala ya childhood trauma. Unakubaliana nao?
I think ni vile watu wajui exactly what trauma is.
Okay.
Kuna vitu ambavyo tunapitia and then later you come to realize, oh, this was not right.
Okay.
And we are so used to it, tunaona ni kawaida. So I think it's that we don't like labels, especially the trauma label. But I think in one way or the other, everyone has gone through some kind of childhood trauma.
Ungeambiwa sasa hivi you identify just a few zile traumas ambazo watu wengi wanapitia katika familia za Kiafrika. Kwa mfano tu, wakati mamako umeangusha kikombe chini kikavunjika, you know, another parent will tell you,
anakuambia vunja zote,
ukimaliza kuja nivunje moyo wangu. You know,
sura kama ya baba yako.
I think we've been told that like so many times.
Yes.
So je, vitu kama hivyo, maneno kama hayo yanaleta kuna impact yoyote katika maisha ya mwanadamu wakati mtoto anapoendelea kukua?
We can look at it in so many ways. The African way, the biblical way, and now what we come to realize later is the healthy way.
The biblical way.
Yes.
Okay, I forgot to tell you guys, this is she's also a teacher by profession
and a pastor's daughter. Proudly. Someone unacheka hivyo bwana. Umecheka sana.
Umeniambia kwamba ningekuwa si nakujua vizuri, nimekutana naye barabarani leo ndo siku ya kwanza. Umeniambia ni mtoto wa pastor, ningesema pastor kanisa gani lakini hilo.
Mbona umecheka sana. Anyway.
Niache nicheke.
And there's also the healthy way of raising a child.
Okay.
Which may not be what we know. So I would say kama mimi, for example, my parents used the biblical way of not sparing the rod on me. I was beaten mercilessly.
So would you call that ulikuwa abused wakati ukitandikwa, ama ilikuwa ni sawa, ilikuwa ni njia ya
I refuse to say that I was abused because my mother can still whoop my ass at this age.
Right now.
Ukimkalia vibaya mamangu ni Taliban. Anakupita vibaya sana.
Wow.
But I was an only child for 14 years, and people would believe that maybe I was spoiled. I was not. Nilipigwa sawa sawa. And there were also, ukipigwa unaambiwa usilie.
Okay.
You remember? I know you've gone through that.
I think I also do the same to my daughter sometimes.
Ukilia ni shida. Usipolia pia ni shida.
Okay.
So I think that is, I have come to realize it's not a healthy way of raising a child, because when you tell them not to cry, later on they will never show emotions to anyone. So it will affect you down the line kwa relationship
So
yako.
kitandikwa mtu unafaa kulia.
Ndio, you're human, aren't you?
Mbona unapiga kelele kwa nyumba yangu? Unaenda
You are
ukalilie na huko
human.
nje.
Ukipiga mtoto anafaa alie, maana amesikia uchungu. So it's not practical to tell a child that asifanye nini, asilie. Just the same way that you cannot, mtoto akivunja kitu unamwambia uvunje na moyo wangu pia. Words have meaning and they will impact that child in all their life.
Okay. Wewe kama, would you mind talking about your childhood?
No, not at all. I think you know most of it.
But kuna watu ambao hawajui. So how was your childhood as raised in an African home, na baba mchungaji, mama wa kanisa? Maisha yako yalikuwa namna gani utotoni?
I was in a typical African home.
Okay.
Baba mchungaji mzee Humphrey unavyomjua sasa. Si wa siku zile.
Amelegeza kidogo.
We've all come a huge distance kutoka pale tulianzia.
Yes.
My dad was an alcoholic for the longest time, and he had like really nice jobs. Huyu mchungaji huyu
alikuwa alcoholic
vibaya sana na mabangi na kila kitu.
Wow.
You know, but it started all the way from his grandpa. Grandpa, and then his dad, then him.
So ni kitu ambacho kilikuwa kwa familia.
Ni kitu kilikuwa kwa familia. My grandmother used to make alcohol in her home. So alianza kunywa pombe akiwa mdogo sana. And I was an only child in primary school, but there were times I didn't have school fees. And this was a farm manager in the 90s who was getting a lot of money. But napopokea mshahara, until huo mshahara utaisha ndio atakuja nyumbani, like 3 days later in a bar. So anakuja, and then when he comes sasa ni vurugu, you know.
Now to you the kids, because I remember
to my mom,
you are the only child then.
At that time I was an only child.
So vita vilikuwa kwako ama vita vilikuwa
kwa mama? I was still his favorite princess, you know. So hata wakati anataka kuchoma nyumba anasema, "Hey, come
calm down."
What?
Alikuwa anataka kuchoma nyumba at some point.
Yes. He used to come home, my mom had a small shop pale Nakuru. Anakuja anasema, "Come, nataka kuchoma hii nyumba yenu. Pick your clothes, we are leaving." To burn your mother in the house.
Like he was serious ama alikuwa
He was serious. Amekuja na mafuta tayari.
How did you feel about that?
I remember most of the time I never wanted to sleep when my dad came home drunk, so that he wouldn't chapa my mom. It made me at age maybe 10 say that I don't want to get married, because I used to tell my mom, kwani una kwenyu, surudi kwenyu. Why are we staying with this man? And he's drunk. Akikuja tu, you know, we are not at peace. And I am a small child, but I cannot sleep, so that he doesn't. Aizi akapiga mama yangu nikiwa awake or when I'm around, so he used to chase me away. So I never used to sleep so that he doesn't beat my mom.
Wow.
And this has affected me like way later in life, in my relationships.
Would you mind explaining how that has affected you? Yes, in relationship, but how? Are you unable to stay in relationships? Are you unable to like fully in love?
Remember what I told you about words having power?
Yes.
Every time I have tried to, mimi ndi wale watu I'm an easy quitter, a professional quitter. Mtu akijaribu kunivuruga kidogo tu hivi,
unatembea.
I'm ready to leave. I'm ready to leave, you know. And it has taken me like a lot of healing, a lot of prayer to get to where I am, where I can actually get into a relationship and want to stay in that relationship. Even when someone, because sometimes it's not really red flags, it's that no one is perfect. So I used to be mwepesi sana wa kujudge watu. because of my trauma. Also because of seeing all that, I have always wanted to shield people. Sometimes even people that don't need my shielding and protection, but I'm always wanting to shield people. Yeah.
And have you had this conversation? Have you had a conversation with your dad umwambie matendo yake alivyokuwa anatenda ukiwa mdogo yalivyokuwa affect sasa hivi?
We realized, or he realized, that I used to get very angry with him very fast.
Okay.
And he later came to apologize to me. And I also came to realize kuna vitu vingi sana watu wanapitia to get to where they are. He went through that was their way of life, they being his family. And he's changed to be a better man. He apologized for that, and we have a good relationship. I can unaona nina post status as a dad. He's a very funny man, he's a comedian, and we became friends, but when I was an adult. Now there's a very big difference between me and my small sister. I have a small sister now. Glow is in Form 3 right now. And there's a very big difference between venye yeye ana relate na dad na venye mimi na relate na dad.
Would you say she has a better relationship with your father than you?
Definitely.
He's doing things better than the way...
He is. And he's a better dad now that he's sober. And he's better generally, kwa sababu hata mama pia zile hasira alikuwa nazo when she was with me zime calm down. Saa zingine unaona hata sister yangu anaongea na no shoe is being thrown her direction. So but we are better now, for sure. I can say that.
You see, kuna watu wa zamani kama mamako. I think if I give you a small example, I come from a home where my dad and my mom are still together mpaka leo. Kama vile tu wako. But the only difference between your dad and mine is, yes, my dad used to drink, but nisingeona ulevi wake mimi kama mimi sikuwa yona ulevi wake nikiwa mdogo. I started seeing him drunk nikiwa nimekuwa mtu mzima. But my dad was never home. You know, yes, uko na baba na mama wanaishi pamoja, but na hawajakosana, haujawahi wasikia wakigombana. Mimi mwenyewe hajanigombanisha, sijawahi kujua na babangu. Lakini hayupo. Unaona? And najua yuko kazini. So in a year I would see my dad probably maybe twice or 3 times. You know, kisingizio ilikuwa ni kazi. Yes, my mom used to travel to go and see him. But then they forget, our parents literally forget kwamba apart from their wives,
watoto wanaona pia.
Yes.
Watoto wanaona. And is that the example you want to show your kid? That, you know, I don't have to be there, but I am there. You know, I'm your father. You know, I'm your father. I don't have to be there.
I think the next time we'll talk about wazazi ambao hawapo lakini wapo. You know,
absentee.
How that affects our kids. Lakini kwa sasa trauma ambao mimi naweza nikasema nilipitia. Mimi wangu alikuwa ananitandika sana. Alafu nikaja kutoka kwa mamangu naishi na dadangu, our firstborn. So mimi alinitandika hata nikiwa high school. You know, mimi nilikuwa kichwa ngumu. I would say ilinisaidia in a way, but then inanifanya wakati sasa hivi nalea watoto wangu inaniogopesha kuwatandika, because I would not want them to be scared like the way I was scared of my sister. You know, manake nilikuwa nikimsikia yuaja tu hivi. Yani naingiwa na baridi
unaoga.
And talking about baridi, were you able to have a conversation with your mom about the people you're dating? You know, mom, like you're now a teenager. You know, teenagers.
Where? As far as my mom is concerned, and this is true, I am still a virgin. I have never had a boyfriend or girlfriend. You know.
Is it because our parents
How
did
do you
not
start
create
that topic first?
A good environment for you to have a conversation with them?
I remember my dad used to try and talk about sex. Oh my God. And because you have put your parents on such a pedestal,
Yeah.
yani unaambiangwa after Mungu ni wazazi
Wazazi.
wako. So unajua ukiangalia Mungu hivi alafu wazazi wako hapo, you cannot talk about sex without cringing with them.
Was that embarrassing to you?
It was. Alafu like I remember like now sister yangu anaambiwa, unaona sister yako hata alikuwa anakuja na shtaki maboy wakimkatia nini. Which is true, by the way. Yes, I was a model child to have. Mimi nikimaliza form 4 I was still a virgin.
Wanajua wazazi kilichomkuta mtoto wao huku nje.
That is true. Nikimaliza form 4 I was still a virgin. Nikikatiwa nilikuwa naenda na shtaki. So it was we were told that sex is so bad that even now, if you want to have sex, you cannot really enjoy it. Your parents are still in your head. You're like, sex is just for procreation.
So do you think parents wanafaa kuwa open enough and wawache watoto wao wakuwe able kujiexpress kwao vizuri?
Yes, and to realize that as much as you try to shield your children, the world is there for them to explore. So you choose whether utawaambia ama they'll find out for themselves. We found out for ourselves.
And it was not very nice. I don't
think we found ugly. Out for ourselves. Unasikia hapo watu wanaambiwa na meza pitu kama githeri. We didn't know shit about birth control. We didn't know anything.
Wangetupatia nafasi ya kuzungumza. Such issues azingekuwepo.
Arise.
Unwanted pregnancies hata kama zingekuwepo, kwa sababu kuna watoto tu ambao kuna vichwa vigumu. Kuna watoto ambao hawasikii tu, wanataka tu ukimwambia usifanye hiki ama fanya hiki wakati unakuwa you know. I feel like we should tell our daughters and our boys safe sex. Not do this because this is bad.
Because they will still do it.
Yeah, I live with my sisters and you know that, and you know them. And one day, the girl who is that Pangani, I took the plastic dick, and I also took some condoms.
Embarrassed.
She was so embarrassed, and she was like, I'm just a girl. I'm like, yes.
I don't know these things.
I'm like, she's like, what is that? Come on, now this is a penis, and then this is a condom, and then this is you. Like we had that plastic pussy. So now this is you, and then this is a condom, and then this is the man. So if you plan to do this, please make sure you are safe enough, because my mom told me, mi siwezi nikakaa chini kaanza kuambia maswala ya ngono. So wewe zungumza nao. So
we are more open-minded,
I was given that chance to talk to my sisters. So at the back of my head, I'm like, sasa mama unawaambia mimi niwaambie watoto wako kuhusu maswala ya ngono. Where do you think I learned my experience from? Is it in the street?
Experience is the best teacher. That's why you are a professor.
Kwa maswala ya. Anyway. Now when it comes to right now, kidogo tu mbali na topic ambayo tunazungumzia. Tuzungumzie kuhusu maswala ya loyalty kidogo tu. Wewe kama Tess, do you think if you had been given or offered something better, like a better life, away from the parents that you have, would you have chosen it?
Ngumu. I don't think I would have.
Why?
My parents, now I've come to really appreciate them, and I wouldn't trade them for nothing.
Okay.
But tuachane na maswala ya parents. If you have a partner, alafu unapatana na huyu kama mimi venye nasema nataka private jet, nipate wa kuninunulia private jet. Unatembea huko kwa latitudes. My friend,
you wouldn't even think twice.
No.
Just like that.
Tunalilia kwa private jet siku hizi.
Wow. As a teacher, if you see a child who like uko kwa darasa unafunza and then mtoto aingie, are you able to know if this child anapitia or amepitia childhood trauma of any kind?
Yes, especially, and you're taught when you're a teacher, you're taught about psychology. One of the most traumatized kids are the one the naughtiest,
Okay.
because they are trying to get your attention,
Mm-hmm.
or the most quiet,
So
the quietest.
mtoto anafaa
So
kufanya nini?
mtoto anafaa kuwa, they're engaging with their fellow students, they're trying to get your attention, but not inapitiliza anafanya mambo mabaya. So as a teacher, you have to be the pastor, you have to be a guidance teacher, because these kids come to school with a lot.
Yeah.
A lot. Watoto wanapitia mambo mengi. There are times unapata mtoto amekuwa labda ameachwa kwa the uncles, amerepiwa. Wengine wanaachwa because we also know that rape mostly happens with close relatives and
Yes,
people
yes.
that the kids trust. And
I
sometimes you
think
will notice
a
that
lot of the people that I know that have been sexually molested
Yes.
or assaulted
it was
at a
people they
younger
knew.
age,
Yes.
most of them, like 80%,
Yeah.
relatives, like uncles, even brothers, and you wonder,
Fathers.
yeah, even okay,
Yes.
yeah. As much as that's a very hard pill to swallow, I also believe that fathers also can
Fathers,
rape kids.
stepfathers, especially stepfathers, mna jina mbaya huku nje.
Eh? Huh?
Ha. So you will notice that child has a problem.
Okay.
And it's up to you in that position to try and reach to the matter of them being the way they are. Sometimes they can be helped with the proper care. Sometimes you have to go an extra step, get them therapy.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
And how accessible is therapy in Kenya?
First of all, let's start from the point that people are very theraphobic.
Yeah.
If there's a word like that.
Yeah, but personally I think I am, kwa sababu nowadays unapelekea mtu story yako and we hang out with some of these therapists and then you're there among the therapists and one of them says, but then there's this client of mine. Oh my God, amekuja huko. Now you sit and wonder, why would I go and tell this person, a stranger, my story, and then ikuwe story wakati wanafanya barbecue with his or her friends?
Yeah.
How do you trust someone with
But I would rather go to a professional any day than tell some of my friends. I was telling you this. I was telling you about this. Some of your friends, if they won't give you completely terrible advice, they will judge you.
Okay.
So afadhali tu uende kwa therapist, someone who is actually trained for this, and they can actually get you the help that you need.
We have the young mothers. I don't think if I fall into that category of a young mother. I'm a very old mother. Now to young mothers. How are we supposed to raise, how are they supposed to raise these kids without trauma? Tunaanzaje? Mtu ani hata anaanzaje? Kwa sababu usipo mdiscipline mtoto, definitely anaweza kuwa spoiled brat. But how do you discipline this child without you traumatizing them in the process?
Most of the time, I'll first say this. I'm 31 years old.
Okay.
According to my mother, I'm a very old grandmother who has no child. But I had to work on myself a lot for me to get to where now I am ready to be a mother. I didn't want to carry my baggage.
Oh, you're ready to be a mother. Please, application because you already said he's single.
But please, I'm looking for a father that has at least a good brain.
Okay.
Looks to konazo. Looks to konazo.
Okay.
So one of the I've been looking at some of the things that I would have done differently if I was my mom. One, instead of being in a toxic relationship, you better be a single parent.
You move out
and look for a father or mother figure for your child.
Who are these people? Can my brother, my uncle,
yes,
be a
it's
father figure
your
to my
pastor?
child? Okay.
But again, back to the topic where even if these people are mentoring your child, remember some of these people may even do something bad to your child.
Okay.
So look for a father or mother figure, because there are also some men that are going through abuse,
Okay.
right? Or going through a toxic relationship. So if you leave, tafutia mtoto wako mtu ambaye anaweza fill the gap.
Okay.
So that they don't go out there kutafuta mubabas, because they did not have a mubaba at home.
Actually, most people who are dating wababe,
yes,
most of them have like
daddy issues.
Yeah, father issues.
And if you don't deal with them, zitaku affect too. So it's up to you. Something else.
Personally, I don't like dating someone who's younger than my age, but not very old than my age. Do I have daddy issues? But I think I do.
No, why would you date anyone your age?
No, I'm just thinking.
Or close to your age. So unajua sometimes, not sometimes, women actually mature faster. Yeah. So if you date someone your age, by the mtakuwa tu mkifanya kazi ya utoto. So either way, tafuta mtu mwenye mnawezana, and sometimes it's not even about age, it's maturity.
So there's someone who sent me a message here, and he said, please ask Tess. Okay. Ask Tess this question. Ask Tess this question. How did she manage to overcome her childhood trauma? This is Mola. His name is Mola.
Lots of facing the truth.
Okay.
Because a lot of us block out the bad stuff that happened.
Okay.
The fact that I can talk about this and not cry about it anymore is healing. Facing the truth, addressing it, if need be, telling the people that hurt you that they hurt you.
Like have a conversation with
with them, yes.
Okay.
And confronting it might not be easy, because some of these people don't want to actually admit that they hurt you.
Yes.
But it's up to you to face the truth, work on yourself, and remember that your past does not define you.
I think yani hata sidhani kama tunafaa kuongezea zaidi hapo. Sidhani kabisa kama tunafaa kuongezea zaidi hapo. But before we leave, I would like to know, what gift do you want for Valentine's apart from Ndege?
But
no, Ndege is not practical. I want something practical so that I can just go out here and look for it. Nitafute mtu ambaye
anaweza. Nikipata ka red wine.
Sweet or dry?
Maua na isikuwe ni ya plastic. Because my friends will judge me. Flowers. My friends will judge me. They're even plastic.
No, but anyway, it doesn't matter what kind of flower you get. Personally, I feel like you don't need to get, okay, something really is nice.
Please get Anita chocolates. Na zisikuwe na peanuts. Atuzipeni.
I will take any gift. From at least at this point, I think I'll take any gift. Yes. Before we go, so what's your parting shot? What would you like to tell parents and also kids or people who have gone through childhood trauma?
Healing is doable. One, again, your past does not define you. And be better for your children.
Okay.
Yes.
Be better for your children. Okay, Aya. Sasa, I think tume neglect sana TikTok. Tume neglect sana TikTok for a very long time.
People saying.
Mr. Hancho anasema, hi, I'm 25 years old. Can Tess date me?
25. I beg. I cannot.
Why?
Nitakutesa bure.
Can I show you his picture?
Niko tu sawa.
No, let me show you his picture. Can I?
It will not dissuade me. 25 is too young for me. Nitamkalia.
No, hapana nawe. Kubali kidogo.
Sasa mimi sitaki kukuwa mumama.
Utaki kuwa mumama? No, but would you date someone, let's say akona vigezo vyote?
Never have, never will.
Hapana, don't be quick to judge bwana.
Nisha judge. I cannot.
Yani, I do not understand.
You have no words for me.
I do not have. But anyway, I would, if I was single,
Mm-hmm.
I would date someone who is younger only in one condition.
Okay. So you're not single?
No, I'm not single.
Okay, good to know.
Anyway, I think we should just end this story here. I think we should just finish up with this story kwa sababu kuna vitu vingine ambavyo tunataka kufanya.
Mm-hmm.
And plus, this is not the end. This is just the beginning of so many conversations zenye tunataka kukua nazo hapa. And I would also want to know what else you would want to hear.
Yeah.
Like things to do with relationships, life, and all that. And if you feel like you can have a conversation with me,
Why not?
why not? Anyway, thank you so much for listening in and viewing. Don't forget to subscribe. Anita Santuri, Mirindimu ya Maisha. And let's have this conversation going.
Yes.
See you next week.
Your socials.
Oh.